Hello students, these are topic tests that we bring to you to help you gauge your preparation as you keep preparing topics. The idea is once you're done with the basic concepts of a topic, you can take these tests to identify how you are able to apply these concepts in a time test. Once you have given the test, ideally only then go through this video. In this video, will give you a perspective of what could have been a good attempt, kind of time that you need to spend on each question, and if you do like the test and the video, there are more than 200 such topic tests that are available on the Bodhee Prep Android app. The app link is in the description of this video. So feel free to download the app and make the best use of it. This video is about the topic profit loss discount, test one as mentioned in the app. Now, if I talk about this test overall, it was an easy to moderate level of difficulty. And a good attempt here would be net 7 questions correct. So that would give you a 95 plus percentile. Ideal time for these questions would be 21 to 24 minutes because some questions I thought there was calculation involved, which will end up taking time even if you may not be able to solve the questions. So if we are attempting all the questions, about 21 to 24 minutes, and out of that, we'll want to get about net 7 questions correct. Moving on to questions per se. Question number 1 says, a shopkeeper sells 2 tables, each procured at cost price P, to Amal and Asim at profits of 20% and loss of 20% respectively. So a shopkeeper selling to Amal and Asim, profit here is 20%, loss here is 20%. Eventually, Amal sells a table to Bimal, again at a profit of 30%. Asim sells to Barun at a loss of 30%. If the amounts paid by Bimal and Barun are X and Y, so Bimal pays X, Barun pays Y, respectively, then X minus Y upon P. P was the shopkeeper sells 2 tables, each procured at P. So the table costed P rupees to the shopkeeper. Since all the options do not have X, Y, or P in them, that means the answer will be same irrespective of what the values of X, Y, and P are. So what we can do is we can assume the value of P to be 100. That means the shopkeeper gets the tables for 200 each, sells to Amal at a profit of 120. So Amal will pay 120 rupees. Sells at a loss of 20 to Asim. So Asim will pay 80 rupees. Further, if we look at Amal, Amal paid 120 rupees for it, sold to Bimal at 30% profit. 30% of 120 is 36, so sells to Bimal at 156. This becomes the value of X, Bimal. If we look at Asim, Asim got it for 80 rupees, sold it at a loss of 30. 30% of 80 will be 8 threes are 24, and 80 minus 24 will be 56. That means Asim sells it to Barun at a cost of 56 rupees. This becomes the value of Y. We have to find out X minus Y upon P. So 156 minus 56 upon 100, which is nothing but 100 upon 100 or 1. Option B becomes the answer. Again, we have to understand here, even if we work with P, this using multiplying factors, we'll get X, the value of X is 1.56P and the value of Y is 0.56P. 1.2 into 1.3, 0.8 into 0.7, and we'll get the same answer. But since the options did not have any of these variables, even assuming values would give me the same answer, and working with a value is easier because there is lesser chance of confusion. Now, if you look at the question, I'd say it's a easy to moderate level of question, should be done within 2 minutes. So maybe a question that can be looked at in the exam. Mukesh purchased 10 bicycles in 2017, all the same price. Suppose the price of each bicycle is X. I'm saying CP is equal to rupees X per bicycle. He sold 6 of these at a profit of 25%. Now this 25% is the profit for 6 bicycles. So we can assume there was a profit of 25% on each bicycle and therefore an overall profit of 25%. And the remaining 4 at a loss of 25%. Similarly, we could have a loss of 25% on each of the bicycles and therefore the 4 could be sold at an overall loss of 25. He made a total profit of 2000, then his purchase price of the bicycle in rupees was. Now, if the price of each bicycle is X, the bikes which are sold on a profit, their cost price will be 6X. The bikes which are sold on a loss, their cost price will be 4x. The profit here is 25% of 6x. The loss here is 25% of 4x. Profit minus loss will give us the overall profit, which is given as 2000. We get an equation in X which we can solve. 25% is 1 by 4. So I'm saying 1 by 4 of 6x minus 1 by 4 of 4x is equal to 2000, which means 6x by 4 minus 4x by 4 is 2000, which means 2x by 4 is 2000. 2 and 4 cancel, x becomes 4000. So the overall profit, overall cost price or the value of x comes to 4000 rupees. Either this can be done, or what we can also do is we can say, see, 6 bikes were sold at a profit of 25% each. This is nothing but 2 and 4. 2 and 4 bikes were sold at a profit of 25% each. And we know 4 bikes were sold at a loss of 25% each. The loss on these 4 bikes will be equal to the profit on these 4 bikes. So that cancels out. And therefore, the remaining profit is only because of these 2 bikes. So we can say 2 bikes are sold at a profit of 25% each, which means 25% of 2x. Cost price of 2 bikes should be the profit that we have. So 1 by 4 of 2x is equal to 2000, which also gives the value of x as 4000. Either of the two methods can be used. Overall, I'd say this question is an easy question, about 90 seconds to solve the question. Definitely something that should be looked at in the exam. A retailer purchases a grinder at a discount of 15% from the wholesaler and sells it for rupees 90.55 at a profit of 15%. The amount of discount received by the retailer from the wholesaler. Wholesaler, 15% discount, sells to retailer. So the price of the wholesaler reduced by 15%. And that is the price that the retailer pays. This is further sold for 19.55 to say the customer. And here the profit is 15%. We have to find out the discount. Suppose the price that the retailer paid was P. We can say that P into 1 plus 15 upon 100 is equal to the selling price, which will be 1955. Wholesaler sells it for 1955, which means P is 1955 upon 1.15. 15 upon 100, or if we deal with fractions, might be better rather than decimal. So if we write this as 5 3s are 15, 5 4s are 20, 1 plus 3 by 20 is 23 by 20 is equal to 1955. If we check if 23 divides 1955, 23 6 7 7 6. Not 12, 18, 7 to the 14, 8 to the 16, 8. 4 to 184 minus 115, which is 5. So this is 850, and therefore the price that the retailer pays becomes 850 into 20, which will be 117,000. 17,085, not 850. Sorry. This is 85. This will be 85. 85 into 2 is 170. 170 into 0 is 170, and then a 0 is 1700. So this is the price that the retailer pays. Now, this was when there was a discount, discount of 15% that the retailer got. Suppose the mark price here was X. So we can say that X into 1 minus 15 upon 100, discount of 15%, will be the price that the retailer has to pay 1700 rupees. So again, 1 by 100 divided by 5 becomes 3 and 2, 20. So 1 minus 3 upon 20, 17 upon 20. So X into 17 upon 20 is equal to 1700. 17 cancels. So X becomes 2000. So the mark price was 2000 rupees, on which there was a discount of 15%, which we can see the difference between these two will be 300. So the retailer paid 1700 for the grinder. On that, there was a profit of 15%. 15% of 1700 will be 170 and 85, 255. So 1700 plus 255 is 1955, for which the retailer sold the grinder to the customer. Hence, the discount received by the retailer from the wholesaler would be rupees 300, option C. Again, there are two levels of calculation involved, so I'm saying moderate, but in any case, should be able to solve this question in about 2 minutes time. A trader allows 20%, a trader discount of 20% and a cash discount of 6/1/4 on the mark price of the goods successively. So marked price will first be reduced by 20% and then 6/1/4. 6/1/4 is 6.25%, 1/4. So if I look at this will give us the selling price. So we can say that the discount percent overall will be minus 20 minus 6.25 plus 20 into 6.25 upon 100. This will give us a discount percentage. Net gain of 20% on the cost price. So on the cost price, there is a net gain of 20%, which is the profit percentage. By how much above the cost price should the goods be marked? So we have to find out the markup percentage. M%. We can use the formula profit percent is equal to M% minus D% minus M% D% upon 100. The value of D we'll get from here. The value of P is 20. Substituting values, we get the value of M. But I think a bit, because the calculation seems to be a bit difficult here for me, what I'm doing rather is 1/4% can be written as 1/16. If we remember the values. If we don't, 6 4s are 24 plus 1, 25/4%. And percentage is equal to a fraction if we divide by 100 and remove the percentage sign. So 1/16 as a fraction. Now, there is the cost price, which increases by 20% to reach the selling price. And then there is a marked price on which two discounts have been given successively to reach the selling price. We know that changing the order of the discounts does not change the overall value, because whether it is 20 and 6.25 or 6.25 and 20, this formula will remain the same. So I'm saying first let us give a discount of 1/6. Then on the new value, let us give a discount of 20%. Now what I'm doing is I'm assuming in one value, either here or there, CP or MP, and then solve all the values. Because I have to calculate 1/6, I'm taking the value of mark price as 160. It is easy to calculate 1/16 of 160. 1/16 of 160 is 10. Subtracting 10 from here, we get this price is 150. 20% of 150 is also easy to calculate. 20% of 150 is 30. Subtracting 30 from 150, we get the selling price is 120. So now we have to calculate the cost price. Cost price into 1 plus 20 upon 100. Cost price into 1 plus profit percent upon 100 is equal to selling price. This becomes 1/5. It should be visible at this point what the cost price will be. But in any case, 1 plus 1/5 is 6/5. 120. 6 2s are 12. CP becomes 2 into 5, which is 100. So an article valued at 100 is, or the cost price for which was 100 has been marked up to 160. So an increase in price of 60 on a base of 100, which gives us the markup as 60%, which is nothing but 0.6. Option C. Again, whether we choose the first method or the second method, we will get the answer. Should not take more than 2.5 minutes, but because there are two different steps involved, calculating the successive change and then another successive change using PMD, I am saying a moderate level of difficulty question. The density of milk at 25% C is 1000 grams per liter. It varies with temperature according to the relation. Density is equal to 2500 minus kT, where dt is density of milk at temperature T in grams per liter, temperature in degrees C, and K is constant. Okay, so if we put the values here, first of all, we will say 1000 density is equal to 2500 minus K into T. Temperature was 25, the value that is given. So this becomes 25 K is equal to 1500, which means K is equal to 60. 1500 by 25. Which means the formula this should be written as this density is equal to 2500 minus 60 into T. A milkman buys milk from a place where the temperature is 25% and sells it at a place where the temperature is 30%. Now the density at 20, suppose a person buys 1 liter of milk, which will be 1000 grams at 25 degrees C, and goes to sell this milk. He claims to buy and sell milk at the same price, then what is the profit he made? Now he goes to sell the milk where the temperature is 30%. What will be the density in this case? Density will be 2500 minus 60 into 30, or 2500 minus 1800, which is 700 grams per liter. So the same milk that was 1 liter of milk was 1000 grams at 25 degrees C will now be 1 liter will have mass of 70 grams. When the density changes, the mass will not change. Only the volume kind of changes. So this 1000 gram will remain same even at the temperature which is 30 degrees C. But the volume will change because now the density of the milk is 700 grams per liter. So how many liters will be 1000 grams? Uh, 1 liter at 30 degrees C is equal to 700 grams, or rather, writing it inverse, 700 grams mass of milk is equivalent to 1 liter at 30 degrees C, which means 1 gram will be equivalent to 1 upon 700 liters, which means 1000 gram will be equal to 1000 upon 700 liters, which is 10 by 7 liters. Now he had 1 liter of milk, which he'll pay for. Suppose the cost price of milk is rupees 100 per liter. He buys 1 liter of milk, so he will pay a cost price of 100. Selling price will now be, when he sells, he has 10 by 7 liters of milk. So selling price will be 10 by 7 into 100, which is 1000 by 7 rupees. Selling price of 100, cost price of 1000 by 7. So profit will be 1000 by 7 minus 100, which is 300 by 7. And therefore profit percent will be profit upon cost price into 100. If we solve this, 100 and 300 cancel, we will get, or this and this cancel, 300 by 7% as the profit. Option D becomes the answer. Again, in the exam, I'll say this is basically the concept of faulty weights, where the price does not change, but the measurement changes. Faulty weights and balances are cheating for that matter. Actually, it's a difficult level of question, or moderate to difficult. Should take about 2.5 minutes to solve. But in the exam, when you come across a new question, there is a very good chance of getting confused. I would not pick these questions in the exam if I have other questions to attempt. Fresh dates contain 80% water by weight, whereas dry dates contain 10% water by weight. Now, this is a typical percentage question. A trader purchases dates at rupees 100 per kg, makes a profit of 10% by selling them after drying. Find the selling price per kg with which the trader sells, at which the trader sells the dry dates. Now, what will happen is the weight will change. So there are two concepts involved here. One is the concept of profit loss. The other is the concept of percentages. We can start with the first part, for example. Now, if we look at fresh dates, suppose we take it as 1 kg, we'll get the price, we'll get the selling price. We'll know the weight of the, let's say, okay. So I'm taking a larger number. I'm saying suppose 10 kg of fresh dates are taken. 10 kg. Now this 10 kg has 8 kg water and 2 kg pulp, which is not water, which will not evaporate. 80% water. After it is allowed to dry, what happens is the amount of pulp will remain same because only water will evaporate. Which means when we say dry dates contain 10% water by weight, that means 90% is pulp. Now this is a number which is not very comfortable calculating. So what I do is I take 90 kg of fresh grapes. which further would mean 80% of 90, that is 72 kg is water, and 9 twos are 18. 18 kg is pulp. The amount of pulp will remain same, 18 kg. I'm taking 18 because it is easier to calculate 90% then. Now, if we look at water, since 90% is pulp, water will be 10%. 100 minus 90. Also, the weight of 90% is 18 kgs. So the weight of 10% should be 18 by 9. 90 by 9 is 10, so 18 by 9, 2 kg. That means after drying, the total weight of the dates is 20 kg. Right? Other way of looking at this could be, suppose the new weight of dates is x kgs, we can say 90% of x pulp in dry grapes is equal to 20% of 90. 20% of 90 was the weight of pulp in fresh grapes. 90% of x will be the weight of pulp in dry grapes. The weight of pulp has to remain same. So 90% of x, 20% of 90. This will also give us x as 20 kgs. Now, if we look at cost price, the shopkeeper bought the date says 100 rupees per kg. So 90 into 100, which is 9,000, becomes the cost price. He has a profit of 10%. So the selling price has to be 10% of 9,000 is 900. The selling price has to be 9900. Now this selling price will be for 20 kgs, because when he's selling, he just has 20 kgs to sell. And therefore selling price per kg has to be 9900 upon 20, amount upon weight, which is 990 upon 20, which will be 495 rupees per kg. What should be the selling price at which the trader should sell the dry dates? He should sell it at 495 rupees per kg, which will lead to a 10% profit. If I look at the level of difficulty of this question, since there are two different concepts involved, I'd say moderate. Not saying difficult, because both these concepts we would have done earlier, and therefore about 2.5 minutes to solve. But I think in terms of level of difficulty, moderate question. The magnitude of profit, magnitude, not percentage, magnitude. So this is in rupees, is 1/3 the discount offered. So profit is 1/3 in rupees of discount in rupees. If discount is 37.5%, then find the profit percent. Now we can work with variables, but I think a better approach is 37.5% is 3 by 8. We have cost price, we have selling price, we have mark price, right? So what we can do is, the discount that we have to calculate is 3 by 8. So let us assume a marked price and then work backwards. A value for which it is easy to calculate 3/8 is 80. If I assume the mark price is 80, we can say discount will be 3 by 8 of 80. This is in rupees, which will be 30 rupees. That means selling price has to be 80 minus 30, 50 rupees. It is given that profit is 1/3 of discount. Now discount we've calculated as 30. So profit should be 1/3 of 30, which is 10 rupees. If the profit is rupees 10 and selling price is 50, cost price should be 50 minus 10, which is rupees 40. So cost price of 40, 10 rupees profit means selling price of 50. This was after a discount of 30 rupees, which means mark price was 80 rupees. And as we can see, profit is 1/3 of discount offered. We have to find out the profit percent. The profit percent is profit of 10 on a base of 40 into 100, which is 1 by 4, or 25% becomes the answer. Again, assuming a value will make this question very, very easy, just one step question. And therefore, I'm saying easy, about 90 seconds to solve, to figure out which value to start with, should be done in the exam. The price of an article is marked up by 57.14%. Markup percent is 57.14 over its cost price. What should be the discount percentage offered so that the profit is 10%? Now, 57.14 is a decimal, which may not be very easy to work with. We would want to convert it into a fraction. Since the values 1, 4, 7 are there, and I know that 1 by 7 is 14.28, I multiply this by 4. 8 for 2, carry forward 3, 4, 4 to the 8, 9, 10, 11, 1 carry forward 16, 7, 57.12. Which means this is approximately 1 by 7 into 4 or 4 by 7. Since I am going to deal with the markup percent in fraction, it makes sense to convert the profit percent also in fraction. 10% is nothing but 10 by 100 or 1 by 10 as a fraction. We know that P is equal to M minus D minus MD upon 100. This essentially is profit markup and discount in percentage. Since we are using fraction, we will drop this 100. When we use the values in percentages, write the 100. When we use the value in fraction, we drop the 100. So profit 1 by 10 is equal to markup 4 by 7 minus discount minus 4 by 7 into discount. What should be the discount percent offered? So 1 by 10, or if we take D here, D plus 4 by 7D is equal to 4 by 7 minus 1 by 10. This becomes 11 by 7D is equal to 7D plus 4D. 40 minus 7. 40 minus 7 upon 70. So this becomes 11 by 7D is equal to 33 by 70. 11 3s are 33, 7 10s are 70. So D becomes 3 by 10. As a percentage, we multiply by 100 to get discount percentage. So 3 by 10 into 100, which will give us the answer as 30%. The discount offered is 30%. Or what we could have done was, see, cost price, selling price, mark price. We know that the mark price of the discount offered is 4 by 7. Cost price profit is 1 by 10. So we assume values and from there we try to work. Ideally, selling price has to be a multiple of 11 and 33. 11 and 3. Because when we calculate multiplying factor for a discount of 4 by 7, we'll get 1 minus 4 by 7, which is 3 by 7. Multiplying factor for 1 by 10, 1 plus 1 by 10 profit will be 11 by 10. So this being 33 will be helpful. So we can assume the markup. What should be the discount? Markup is 4 by 7, not discount. So, my bad. The markup is 4 by 7. Okay. 4 by 7 as a fraction. So we will assume the cost price and then from there we'll work. We have to calculate 1/7 and 1/10 of the cost price. So what we'll do is we'll take the cost price to 70. 1 by 10 of 70 will be 7. So selling price becomes 77. 4 by 70. 4 by 7 of 70 will be 40. 70 plus 40 will be 110. So the discount that is being offered is 110 minus 77, which will be 33. And therefore discount percent will be 33 upon mark price, 110 into 100, which will give us the answer as 30%. So either successive percent or assuming values, whatever is more comfortable, one of the ways could be done. I'd say moderate level of question, because if we get stuck with 57.14, then it becomes difficult to solve. But once that is cracked, should not take more than about 2 seconds to solve, 2 minutes to solve. Trader marked up 36% above its cost price and then gave a discount of 10% on it. If the trader made a net profit of 238 after paying taxes of 15% on the gross profit, find the cost price. Now, first of all, let us deal with this net profit and taxes first. Gross profit, tax 15%, so reduces by 15% to get the net profit. Net profit is given as 238. So we can say the gross profit will be gross profit into 1 minus 15 by 100. Tax 15% reduces the value of the gross profit by 15% is equal to 238. 17 divided by 5, 3 by 20, 1 minus 3 by 20, gross profit will be 17 by 20 is equal to 238. 17 ones are 170 68.4. This will be, I think, 14. And therefore, gross profit will come out to 280. 28, 14, 42. Yes. So, gross profit will be 280, which means now if you look at it, a trader marked a book 36% above its cost price and gave a discount of 10%. Therefore, cost price, selling price, marked price. This is increased by 36% to reach the cost price, the mark price. Then a discount of 10% is given to reach the selling price. And the difference between cost price and selling price is rupees 280, which we have calculated the gross profit. On this profit, 15% tax was reduced. We have to find out the cost price. Now, what we can do is, since we have the markup and discount percent, we can find out the profit percent by putting the values in this formula. So this will mean that we get the profit percent, and profit percent of CP will be the profit, which is 280. We can get the answer. I am using values. I'm saying let the cost price be 100x. Increased by 36% becomes 136x. 10% of 136 is 13.6. So this becomes 4, 14, 2. This is 16, 122.44x. 122.4x. That means the profit is nothing but 122.4 minus 100. I have not used this formula. So 22.4x, and this is given as 280. 22.4x given as 280. So if we divide, x becomes 280 upon 22.4. To remove the decimal, I'm multiplying by 10. 2224. 280. 224 will be divisible by 4. So if we divide by 4, 56, 70, 7, 8. These are 56. So 100 by 8, which is 12.5. And therefore, the cost price will be 100x, which is 100 into 12.5, or 1250 becomes the answer. In terms of level of difficulty, I'd say moderate, because the numbers were a little were not that easy. 36, 10%. There was decimal involved, then 238 and 15%. Because of the calculation, I'm saying a moderate question. The attempt time would, I think, go up to 2.5 to 3 minutes. Arun, Varun, and Karan visited a shop to buy a certain article, and each one of them bought at least 1 unit of the article. The shopkeeper gave a discount of 20% to Arun, 2 successive discounts of 20 and 25% to Varun, 3 successive discounts of 20, 25, and 40 to Karan. After selling X units of the articles, he calculated that he had given an overall discount of 50%. After selling X units of the article, then how many values of X are possible? Now, if we first look at the discount that is being offered, a shopkeeper gave a discount of 20%. Arun gets 20% discount. Let me write it on the left-hand side. Arun gets 20% discount outrightly. Varun gets 2 successive discounts of 20 and 25. So the overall value will be minus 20 minus 25 plus 20 into 25 upon 100. Successive discount. This is minus 45 plus 5 or minus 40%. So Varun gets a discount of 40%. And Karan further gets a discount of 40%. So for Karan, what I'm doing, I'm saying let the initial value be 100. Let us give the discounts one by one. 20% discount means 80. 25% discount means 1/4 of 80, which is 20, so 60. On this 60, another 40% discount. 6 fours are 24. 60 minus 24 will be 60 minus 24 will be 46. Sorry, not 26, 36. 60 minus 24 is 36. So what is the overall discount? 100 goes to 36. So overall discount is 100 minus 36, which is 64. So now what we get is, I'll just move this part, the discount that is being given to Arun is 20%. The discount that is being given to Varun is 40%. And the discount that is being given to Karan is 64%. The seller sells X articles. Suppose the number of articles sold to Arun, Varun, and Karan are A, B, K respectively. So A plus B plus K is equal to X is what is given. And the overall discount is 50%. Suppose the marked price is 100% is rupees 100 for each article. So we can say that the discount that Arun will get overall, because the mark price is 100, so discount that Arun is getting is 20, Varun is getting 40, Karan is getting 64. On A articles, Arun will get a discount of 20A. On B articles, Varun will get a discount of 40B, rupees 40 on each article. On K articles, Karan will get a discount of 64K. This is the overall discount. Upon the marked price, total marked price will be 100 into A plus B plus K, because A, B K articles for rupees 100 have been purchased. So mark price into A, mark price into B, mark price into K. This into 100 should be equal to 50. Overall 50% discount, which will give us 20A plus 40B plus 64K will come out to 50A plus 50B plus 50K. Rearranging the numbers, 14K is equal to 30A plus 10B divided by 2, 7K is equal to 15A plus 5B. Now, if you look at the right-hand side, this is a multiple of 5, this is a multiple of 5, 15 and 5. If we add two multiples of 5, the answer has to be a multiple of 5. And therefore, 7K has to be a multiple of 5. 7 is not a multiple of 5, therefore, K can only take values which are multiple of 5. Also, none of the values A, B, and K can be 0. So, the minimum value K can take is 5, which means this becomes 35 is equal to 15A plus 5B. If we put A as 1, 35, 15, 20, B will be 4, just putting values. If we put A as 2, 35 and 5, 15 to the 35 and the 5, 7 5 is 35. That is the only possibility. If we put A as 3, we'll get B as B negative. Increase the value of K to 10, a multiple of 5, 70. If we put A as 1, 70 minus 15 is 55. So B will be 11. If this is 10, this is 2. 30 minus 70 is 40. B will be 8. If this is 3, 70 minus 45 is 25. B will be 5. 70, 11, 1. This increases by 1, decreases by 3. Increase or decrease by 3. If we put this as 4, this will be 70. 15 4s are 60, 5 2s are 10. If we put this as 5, this will become 75, so not possible. Also, simultaneously, let us check the value of X as well, just to see we do not exceed the value of X. X is A plus B plus K. So here X will be 5 plus 4, 9 plus 10. Here it will be 5 plus 2, 7 plus 1, 8. Here it will be 10 plus 11, 21 plus 2, 22. Here it will be 20. Here it will be 8 and 10. 8 and 10, which is 18. Here it will be 16. Now, of these values, we know X has to be between 8 and 20 included. So this is included, this is not included. So we can remove the solution. This is included, this is included, this is included. Further, 7K is equal to 15A plus 15B. We have checked for K 5 and 10. Let's keep K as 15. Now, the minimum value of A plus K plus B will be when the value of A is maximum. This is 75, 7 into 15. So here we can have the maximum value of K as if we keep K as 15, 7 into 15 becomes 105, in which case A can be a maximum of 7, B will be 0. So this is not possible as it is. If we keep K as 15, A as 6, 105 minus 90 So we need 15. B will be 3. This adds up to 15 plus 6, 21 plus 3, 24, which will cross the value of x, which can be a maximum of 20. So anything beyond this is not possible. So how many values of x are possible? X could be 10, x could be 8, it could be 20, it could be 18, it could be 16. Hence, 5 values are possible. Clearly, in terms of level of difficulty, let's say there are two levels of questions involved. One is successive discount, the other is linear equations, moderate to difficult level. Even I think 3 minutes may not be good enough to answer this question. There were questions like this in CAT 2022, 23 rather. And I think in the exam to come up with these solutions is a little bit difficult. So maybe more than 3 minutes difficult question, not something that we should look for in the exam, right? If we look at the overall level of difficulty of this test, I said easy to moderate for the simple reason that getting my 7 questions may not be difficult. For example, if I look at question 10, it was clear it was not to be done at all, right? So it is easy to eliminate the question. Therefore, I'm saying it does not affect my level of difficulty because I know which 7 questions to attempt, and knowing a question which to leave saves time for me. Ideal time again 21 to 24 minutes. Which are the 7 questions that I would have looked at? For me, they would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. Which are these questions? Would have done this because assuming the value of p is 100 made the question very doable. Definitely this simple two bicycle profit and then the cost price would have done this because again there were two levels involved, but the point is we were just dividing twice by 23 and 17 to get the answer. So would be my attempt question. I thought this is also not very difficult with respect to the other questions, so this may be looked at. For me, it was a question that I would have done. Would have probably not look at this in the examination because new concept may not get the right thing in the exam. This again had two levels out of 4 and 6. You can choose one. I would have chosen 4 over this one. 7 again easy question should have been done. This also I think was doable question. Just make sure we know how to manage 57.14. Then there was no difficulty as such. Though the calculation here were involved, I would have attempted this question and gone for it. But again, what you can do is out of 469, you can look to do 2 questions. So that will give you a 7. I would not suggest doing a question like question number 10 in the exam unless there is nothing else left. I have topics which I do not know in the exam, and this is a question that I am left with. Then maybe attempt the question, take time and get the answer. Otherwise, not something that you should do in the exam. And therefore, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9 would be my attempt. Overall, you can look at 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, definitely 4, 6, 9. You can look at 2 questions, and that can be easily done in about 21 to 24 minutes.